My beloved nation, there comes a time in every generation when people must choose. Will they bow to fear or will they rise in faith? Will they compromise with corruption or will they stand for truth no matter the cost? I tell you today, as one who has walked through fire and seen both the darkness of men and the mercy of God, fear no one but God. Courage born not of ego but of faith. What does that really mean? It means you do not stand tall because you think highly of yourself, but because you believe deeply in the one who sent you. It is not arrogance, it is trust. The ego says, I will win, but faith says, even if I lose everything, I'm still in His will. And that is enough. This courage doesn't shout, it endures. It walks into rooms where truth is hated and still speaks. It faces ridicule and betrayal, not with bitterness, but with resolve, because it knows the mission is sacred, not for self, but for something far greater: justice, truth, and the pleasure of God. Such courage is not born in the spotlight. It is forged in the quiet hours of prayer, in the hidden chambers of pain, in the lonely places where you choose obedience over popularity. And once it rises, it cannot be shaken. When you have died to your own ego, no insult can kill you. When your heart is anchored in God, no force on this earth can move you. That is the courage we need today. Not the roar of the proud, but the quiet, unshakable strength of the surrender. Peace that defies logic is not the absence of war around you. It's the stillness within you when everything outside is falling apart. It is the calm you carry into the storm, because your trust is not in circumstances but in the one who controls them. This kind of peace is not naive. It knows the weight of betrayal. It has tasted injustice. It has walked through fire, but it still says, my heart will not be troubled. Why? Because it is rooted in the certainty that God is near and He is never late. When the world expects you to collapse, you stand. When chaos demands panic, you worship. That is peace the world cannot explain. This peace does not come through power or position. It cannot be bought and it cannot be taught. It is a gift given only to those who surrender fully, those who have stopped fighting to control everything and have instead bowed their heads and said, your will be done. In that surrender, something miraculous happens. The storm may rage louder, but it no longer terrifies you. The waves may rise higher, but they no longer drown you. Because you now walk not with fear, but with the assurance that even in the valley of death, He walks with you. Justice as a sacred trust means it is not ours to manipulate, delay, or deny. It is a divine responsibility, a burden we carry on behalf of those who have no voice. It is not an option for the powerful to grant when convenient. It is an obligation that comes from God Himself. When we forget this, we lose the soul of our nation. Justice is not revenge. It is not selective. It does not ask who you are, but what you've done. It defends the weak, confronts the corrupt, and protects the innocent, even when it costs you everything. That is why it must be treated with reverence, because it is one of the few things on this earth that reflects the nature of God, who is always just, always fair, and never swayed by power. When justice becomes a tool in the hands of the elite, a society begins to rot from within. But when it is upheld as sacred, when the poor have equal access to it, when the oppressor trembles before it, and when truth is honored, regardless of the name or title standing trial, then and only then can we say we are walking in the fear of God. A people who fear no one but God will never trade justice for comfort or truth for convenience. They will rise to defend it, even when the price is high, because they know to betray justice is to betray the very purpose for which we were placed on this earth. Love without condition, sacrifice without applause. This is the highest form of strength. It is easy to love those who praise you, easy to serve when cameras are watching. But the test of true love is when there is no reward, no recognition, not even a thank you, and yet you give and give again. This love does not ask, "What will I gain?" It asks, "What does God require of me?" It is the love of a mother who stays up through the night without sleep. The love of a man who tells the truth though it costs him his career. The love of a leader who walks away from power because it no longer serves the people. This love is not rooted in emotion, but in obedience. It is not driven by applause, but by purpose. Real sacrifice is silent. It does not boast. It does not wait for approval. It walks the lonely road with only one audience, God. And when you serve like that, when you love like that, something profound happens. Hearts begin to heal, darkness begins to lift, and the nation begins to remember who we are meant to be. This is the love that rebuilds nations, not just structures. This is the sacrifice that breaks chains, not just systems. And when you live this way, you don't need the world to see you, because heaven already does. Fear no one but God.